Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Chris Cochran, Executive Director of ReFED. It's my pleasure to join Joan and Danny and the team in welcoming you to today's event. In the US, we waste 40% of food, and that totals 63 million tons and costs us $200 billion every year. That's 1.3% of GDP. It also wastes natural resources as a contributor to climate change. Meanwhile, 42 million Americans are food insecure. In short, food waste is a tremendous problem. But it's also an incredible opportunity, and ReFED ran the numbers. As Joe mentioned, last year, we conducted the most comprehensive analysis of food waste to date and produced a roadmap to reduce food waste in the US. It outlines cost-effective and scalable solutions to reduce food waste by 20%, putting us on the path to achieve the national goal of cutting food waste in half by 2030. This would produce $100 billion of economic value, create 15,000 new jobs, double the meals donated, and avoid 180 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions. ReFED is now working with stakeholders to implement these solutions at scale. For example, we're working with industry to standardize date labels, with policymakers to implement common sense solutions, and with investors to increase capital investment in those solutions. Together, we're creating a systems approach to this problem. And can you think of another issue that inspires this degree of collaboration among stakeholders? Food waste is a staggering problem, but it's also an issue that offers promise and hope. These solutions are solvable, they have widespread support, and they're gaining momentum. We know that public awareness is raised, and now we're seeing that awareness translate to action and results. Last year, we had 15 corporate champions step up towards the national goal. We have over 400 innovators, some of whom are with us today, creating solutions from prevention and waste tracking to donations, transportation, to a host of recycling solutions, including our composting for today's event. This year alone, we've seen 80 bills in over 21 states introduced. Today, we're excited to present an impressive lineup of panelists, many of whom are ReFED steering committee members and advisory council members and project partners. I'd like to thank Rockefeller and Fink family for making today's event possible and their leadership on this topic. They are also generous supporters of ReFED. Other ReFED supporters in the room today include Ajana and Clenil. We have General Mills and Grace Communications. We also have Walmart and Wells Fargo. I also want to add my thanks that Joan mentioned to Sarah Vered, my predecessor. Without her, ReFED would not exist, and she continues to be a valuable partner to making ReFED's work successful. Thank you to Food Tank for co-hosting this event. Thank you to our panelists and moderators for offering their expert insights. And finally to you, the audience, both in person and live streaming around the globe. We hope that today's event is not only educational, but really inspires your own action, both personally and in your organizations and communities. Thank you.